Hey, good morning, everybody. Staff morale page here. Just a prelude for this video. It's going to be an introduction on the page, as well as myself, my background. But I just want to let you guys know that my wife and I are still deciding how anonymous we want to remain while running this page, but also at the same time try to be open. I've been running this page since August of 2019 when it was made, and I think I have mentioned my name a few times on my stories, just my first name. But I've been pretty open with where I am regarding a duty location as well as my career positions. However, I've never fully divulged who I was to everybody. There are some people who follow the page who know who I am, especially people I serve with in my unit, and then also some people who regularly DM the page. I may have added them on my personal Instagram. However, for the most part, a large majority of the followers do not know who I am, and we're still trying to determine if we want to fully release that or just keep it anonymous and strictly I guess, professional in terms of teaching the classes, running the website, and the meme page as well. So for beginners, my first name is Nick. I am married. We're about to have our 1 year anniversary. Also have a 6-month-old daughter. I commissioned in the Army in 2017. I went to school in the Northeast, where I did ROTC for 4 years. I had a 4-year scholarship. I commissioned as an infantry officer in May of 2017, and within 2 weeks of graduation, I went to IBOLC. After IBOLC, I did go to Ranger School, where I failed push-ups, and then I went to Airborne School a few days after failing Ranger School. Now, in terms of going back to Ranger School, after I completed Airborne School, I called my gaining unit in Alaska. It was 425 at the time, which is now 11th Airborne Division. And I requested to go back to Ranger School, but the unit was deployed for 2 months at that time, and they said they needed platoon leaders up there. So they gave me the choice to either go back to Ranger School or go up PCS to Alaska as quick as I can so I could jump on the next rotator flight to Afghanistan and take a platoon. Back at the time, I think it was a pretty easy answer for me. Ranger School is always going to be here, but deployments are far and few in between. So I decided to PCS up to Alaska, and within a few weeks of being up there, after in processing, I was on a plane to Afghanistan, where I spent probably 2 weeks in the 3 shop, and then I took a platoon for the remainder of the deployment. I was in Afghanistan for a little bit over 5 months, just because I was a late deployer. And then when we came back, I was still a platoon leader, where we did convoy live fires. I was a heavy weapons platoon leader in a Delta company. So after 14 months of PL time total, I was sent to the S3 shop. Now, in the S3 shop, I was pretty privileged to have one specific job. I was a land and ammo officer, where I served in that position for probably 12 to 13 months, where that is all I did. I was not pushed around to do con ops and weird AS3 things that most new lieutenants get to experience. At that time, I mean, I wasn't new anymore. I was a first lieutenant post deployment. But my sole job was literally just setting up ranges and making sure all the ranges were resourced for the whole battalion. So I worked a lot with the company XOs as well as the FSC, where I did ammo draws, did turn-ins, worked with range control and rift miss. I went through the TAMIS course. So I basically knew everything in and out 385-64 regarding ammo. I was certified at the brigade level to teach ammo courses, so I would teach a monthly course at the battalion level to certify new ammo handlers. So that was pretty fun. It seems like a shitty job from the outside, but it was pretty fun, especially because I had all my systems in place. I made new SOPs. and I knew exactly what had to be done and get the battalion right on track because it was lacking before I got there in terms of resourcing. The account kept on getting shut off, and we weren't able to draw ammo. So it was good to sort that out and fix it. So at that time, also, I was previously engaged to a different woman than I am married to now. But that relationship ended. And so when that relationship ended, I thought I was going to get out to get married and live a life with her. However, because the relationship ended, I decided to stay in. Now, this was also an uncertainty that I had. I mean, I didn't know if I wanted to get out or stay in. So I dropped a civil affairs packet. Now, at the same time as dropping a civil affairs packet, I got moved into XO position at a line company. I was the first untabbed XO in that battalion in a few years. The BC never really liked putting untabbed infantry officers as second in command of the company, but he moved me down to an XO position, and pretty sure I did pretty well there. And he was, I guess, impressed, and I guess it left any of fears that he had of a non-Ranger tabbed infantry officer taking second in command. But I served there for 7 months while also training up for civil affairs selection. We went through a change of command. COVID was just starting, so we had to deal with all the restrictions up in Alaska, as well as going down to selection, where I had to spend a few extra days at a hotel for quarantine and whatnot. But I ended up getting selected, and then when I came back and did my quarantine after selection, I pretty much just immediately cleared installation and moved down to Fayetteville or Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, within a month of going back after selection. So I got to Fort Liberty, where I went through SOF Triple C, and then after SOF Triple C, I went through the CAQC pipeline, where I was given Arabic as my language, and then I went through the language school here, and then showed up to my unit, which I've been in for probably a year and a half now. So currently a team leader in a civil affairs team. So just a quick recap of that. I was an infantry officer for 4 years. I served as a PL, an AS3, and an XO. Went to selection and then switched to civil affairs, which I'm currently at now. I know I mentioned that I was in a relationship. I was in an engagement prior to this current relationship. And that is when this page pretty much started. So as that relationship was ending, and I also got moved to the S3 shop, I was at a very dark place in my life where I didn't really know how to express myself other than going on hikes in Alaska, because there's mountains everywhere. So I started making memes in the office, and someone told me that I should start a meme page. I didn't really take to that, where another lieutenant in the office ended up making S3 morale page and started posting there, but he ended up handing it off to me after a week or two, and I ended up changing the name to staff morale page, and then I've been running the page since, pretty much, and I've been doing it alone until I met my current wife, where we met in May of 23, May of 22, where she's been running the website as well as like the stickers, and then she also runs the store. So since then, I've pretty much I try to post every day for a meme. I mean, it's kind of hard, especially with life, especially now that we have a baby. But finding templates is probably the hardest part about it. My mind works where once I see a template that I could use, I already know what I want to make it into. However, it's finding those templates to use that I have trouble with. But other than that, like, it's been really fun running the page. I met a lot of people through it. We used to do events with the Fayetteville Girl Gang or the Fort Bragg Girl Gang, where we would do meet and greets where we'd post a location on our stories, like Dirtbag Ales in Hope Mills, or a coffee shop, or a book club where we would all meet and then just hang out. And it's been fun. It gets tiring at sometimes, but at the same time, I've gained a lot from the page. Getting DMs saying, "Hey, I feel where you're coming from. I'm going through the same thing," or "Oh, thanks for making me laugh." That's what really drives me. Or someone who just needs someone to talk to, an anonymous person who won't judge them, or someone who doesn't know who they are. It's nice that people reach out and I'm able to help them in whatever capacity that I can. And if I'm unable to help them, I could find some way or someone to help them. It's with a reach of 29,000 people and a lot of leadership, believe it or not, which is a nice new trend that I'm seeing. A lot of leadership making accounts for their units. It's very easy to find an answer for somebody if I'm unable to find one. Other than that, I should have probably added this to the beginning of the video, but as you see, I have a beard. I do have a medical shaving profile. It is what it is. I have gotten some laser hair treatment for my neck, but yeah, I break the stigma that you need to follow the rules if you're in pain and whatnot. Like, I've been shaving since freshman year of high school, and I've dealt with razor burn and ingrown hairs since the first day of high school, all the way until a few months ago. But finally went to my PMC and the dermatologist, and they said, yeah, like, you should have started this a while ago. But the stigma of an officer, especially, I mean, a Caucasian officer having a shaving profile was taboo. But I was tired of being in pain, and my wife pushed me to finally go get looked at. And I'm glad that she did, and I'm glad that I actually went through with it. But yep. Other than that, like always, if you have any questions or if you want to know anything or have any suggestions for future videos, please leave it in the comments or send us a DM.